Hello everyone, here is Shikha from Technical Talk Knowledge and I greet you from our side. So I return back with another lecture on Linux and this is the lecture number 36 of our Linux series. Okay, so basically in today's lecture we will going to move forward under the topic called storage management and we will going to continue with the part 4 of this topic. Okay, so for that in this lecture we will going to see how we can recover or how we can resolve the error message if we might face under fstep file. Suppose if you are doing any entry of any partition under fstep file and if you face any error message, then how you can resolve it. So we will going to work on that as well, and we will also going to see how we can create partitions by gpt partition method. Okay, so all these things which we will going to cover today only. So for that I must recommend you all to watch the entire video in order to avoid missing any vital or important details regarding storage management and GPT partition method. Okay, so let's discuss the lecture without further any ado. So for that, first you need to open your VMware workstation and your terminal too. So as you all know that as I've already discussed with you that how you can set up any hard drive on your system. So we will move forward. Okay, we will move forward with the setup of the hard drive. So just execute the lsblk command as I've already done with the process of setting up the hard drive. So here is my hard drive which is SDB. This is my new hard drive. In this hard drive I'm going to create a partition and then I'll work on the fstep file. I will do the entry of this partition under fstep file and then we will see if we face any error while doing the entry, how we can resolve it. Okay, so first let's create the partition by coming under the drive. So as we are able to come under the hard drive SDB, here we will going to create a new partition. Now today I'm only going to create only one partition so that I will make you understand that how you can resolve the error. Okay, so we're going to make a partition. By default it will take first number, by default take the sector, just define the size. Okay, so I'm here referring the size value 500 MB. So your partition has been created, just execute P. So it will print the partition. So as you can see your partition has been created. Now let's save the changes and just update the kernel. So for that you need to execute the command part-4 your hard drive name. Okay, after that what we will going to see, now we all know that after creating any partition we need to format it with any of the file system. So now we will going to format our sdb1 partition with the file system. Okay, so for that we need to execute the command mkfs. Suppose I'm formatting my partition sdb1 with ext2 file system, then you need to write your partition now. Okay, execute blkid command to see is your file system has been updated. So as you can see sdb1 partition has been able to assign with the partition with the file system ext2. Okay, so that's how we will format the partition. Now the next thing which we have to do is that we need to mount up our partition. So first we will going to create a directory called knowledge. Okay, I'm creating a directory called knowledge. Now we will just mounting it up by the permanent way. We will not going to do it first temporary way, then after permanent way. I'm just simply executing or mounting up this partition by permanent way. Okay, so for that you do not need to mounting this partition with the temporary way. So for that, to do it permanently you need to come under the file called fstab. Just do the entry. So as we all know how we are able to do the entry. For that we need to okay, we need to write the name of the partition, or we can even write the UUID. So I'm here writing the name of the partition, which is dev sdb1. The second field should be your mounting point. So I have mounted my partition with the knowledge directory. After that, the third field is your file system. So it was ext2. Okay. Your fourth field defaults your permission, whatever the permission your operating system will assign your partition. So fourth field is referred to that. After that, the fifth field your backup, and the sixth field will be your file system checkup. Okay. Now suppose that's how we will able to do the entry of the file system, or the partition, sorry, the partition. Okay. Now suppose if you have make any mistake while doing the entry of the partition, then how you will resolve it? Suppose by mistake I have written the file system different. I have written the XFS file system instead of ext2, and I have saved the changes. Now what we will going to do? Suppose I am rebooting my machine. Okay, now let's check. Will my machine will get boot up or not? In such type of situation, if we make any mistake under file system, or if we make any mistake under partition, so what will happen? So most of the time when you make or create any mistake while doing the entry of your partition under the fstep file, so it will not gonna boot up your machine. Okay, so your machine will not going to boot up. So let's see here. See what the error we are facing. So it is showing an error message in front of us. So what is showing? You are in emergency mode. After logging in, type journal lstl. So such type of message we are getting. So it is showing that you have created a mistake, you have made a mistake. Now what you have to do, you need to press Ctrl D. Okay, to continue. So let's press Ctrl D. Now after that, what is showing? Starting default target. Okay, so after that it's showing you need to come under maintenance mode. To come under maintenance mode, you need to write the password of your root user. Okay, so write the password. So we are able to come under maintenance mode. When you will get your root id, okay, root user id, that means you are under the maintenance mode. Here you need to first check your file system. Whatever be the file system you have assigned to your partition, you need to check this, and then after that you need to make changes under fstep file. So we will going to run or execute blkid command, and then we will able to check our partition file system. So as we can see, our partition file system is ext2, as you can see here. See, okay, so sdb1 partition file system is ext2, but by mistake we have written, while doing the entry of the partition under fstep file, we have written xfs file system. That's why it is showing the error. So what you need to do, you need to come under fstep file and correct your mistake. Okay, just here write ext2. Okay, and then save changes. So it is very simple. Just mount -a and then reboot your machine again. Now, so in such type of situation, while you face any error message under the fstep file, so you need to do the correction, or you need to recover your machine like that. Okay, so be careful while doing the entry under fstep file. Okay, so as we are able to clear with the error, now it's time to go with the gpt partition. So after that, we will going to see how we can create partitions by using the gpt concept. Okay, So as you can see, we are able to boot up our machine. Okay, so that's how you can resolve the error. So let's boot up it with the root user. So now we will move with the GPT partition. Okay. So for that, what we need to do, first we will going to add another hard drive on which we will gonna work by using the GPT partition method. Okay. So open your terminal. Okay. So first let's execute lsblk command. See here, this is our SGB hard drive and it has one partition. Now we will going to create or add another hard drive. So come under settings and add, next, then finish. Press just once reboot your machine. Till the time it's being pick up. So it has been boot up. Now let's again log in. Open your terminal. And maximize it. So let's execute the lsblk command to check if we are able to set up our another hard drive or not. So as you can see, SGC. Okay, so this hard drive has been we are able to set up here. Now we will going to make partition or create partitions under this hard drive SGC by GPT method. So by using the GPT method, you need to execute the command gdisk instead of fdisk. Okay, and then the hard drive name. So as you can see, we are able to come under this hard drive. Now it is showing question mark for help. So let's execute question mark. So as we are able to see its options, so these are the option. If we use any of the option, we are able to perform the arguments or the options, perform these things, okay, under this GPT partition method. So if you use the option B, so it will show the backup. If you perform C option, then it will change the partition name. If you press D, it will delete the partition. So these are the options you can execute or use by using or doing any modification under GPT methods. Okay, so let's create a new partition. For that, you need to execute option N. Okay, so let's use this. So by default it will take 1, so let's take it by default. By default, let's make it use whatever be the sector it want to take. So by default, now the last sector in which we will going to assign or set a value, so we're going to provide the value about 500 M. Okay, so it has another features too. Okay, so under GPT method, it has another feature which is hex code. So basically, hex code is referred to the type of your partition. If it is swap partition, if it is GPT partition, if it is MBR partition, so it is known as the hex code. If you use option -L, so it will show you all the hex codes, okay, of your partition. So all these are the partition types: LVM, swap partition, as you can see, free BSD swap. Okay, so all these are the partition types, and these are their hex codes. So we don't want these, so let's make it choose it by default. Okay, so now you need to execute P for print. So as you can see, your first partition has been able to created and its hex code is 8300. Okay, we can also create another partition, just by default take it. So it has the same method, whatever be the process you were using under the MBR partition method. Okay, so let's make it 600 MB. Okay, so as we all know, under GPT partition we can create 128 logical. So we are able to create 2 partitions. We can even create 126 logicals as well. Okay, so let's save the changes here also, because this has the same process like the MBR. Okay, so after that it will also ask for the confirmation. If you want to proceed further, if you want to save these changes, so it will ask for the confirmation. So we will able to write here why. Okay, now just update the kernel regarding the SGC hard drive and its partition. Now just execute the lsblk command. So now it has the same process, whatever be the thing you are covering under the MBR partition, you need to do this as well. Okay, so first we need to format all these partition SGC1 as well as SGC2 with some of the file systems, so we will be able to mount it up by any of the directory. So first we will going to provide a file system to these partitions. Let's execute blkid command to check their file system. So it has not any of the file system, so we're going to provide file system by executing mkfs and the whatever be the name of the file system you want to assign to these partitions. So I'm providing xfs file system to my first partition sgc1. Okay, and ext3 partition file system to my second partition. Okay, now execute lsblk command, sorry, blkid command. See, we are able to provide file system to both of the partitions, SGC1 as well as SGC2, and their file system type are XFS and the other one has ext3. Okay, so now it's time to mount up them. Okay, so for that we will going to create 2 directories. The first one is the cloud directory I'm creating, and the other one I'm creating AWS directory. Okay, now we will going to mount up them permanent. So come under etc fstep file and just do their entry. So write the name, or if you want to write the UID, you can do that as well. Okay. So I'm writing the name of the partitions, their mounting point, their file system, permissions, and backup and checkup. Okay. Again, do the entry of the other partition as well. Their mounting point, file system, permission, 0, 0. Okay. Now just simply save these stages and just refresh it by executing mount -a or repeat your machine. Now execute df-h. See, we are able to mount up both of the partitions. So that's how we use or create partitions by using the GPT partition method. So I hope you are clear with both of the things which we are able to do today. So we are able to do all these things, the error as well as the GPT partition method. So I hope this video is very helpful for all of you, and for more videos and updates on Linux and for more other technologies, you need to stay tuned with us, Technical Cloud Knowledge. Okay, and thanks for watching.